Left hand one was your beforehand, okay, your before shot, before we talked about your swing plane, and the right hand one now is your after, okay. So we can see here now in both cases the takeaway, this club actually starts going back, pretty good, okay. The golf club stays nicely in front of your hands, back a bit further probably, good. On the right hand side might be a little bit on the inside, but generally speaking your takeaway is in a good spot. What we were trying to work on now is just flattening off that takeaway to backswing position, okay. On the left hand one you can see quite a rise there with that left arm quite above your shoulder plane or your shoulder angle, yeah, quite high and quite steep, which would require you to do some kind of adjusting or compensating on the way down. When you did nicely and adjust to it, it was probably a good shot, but it was always a bit of a where's the ball, where's the kind of club kind of thing, okay, compared to that backswing. Now it looks a bit laid off because the club's got a bit shorter than parallel, but the left arm position in terms of left and right there, you can see how your left arm is a bit flatter. Now you may find, again, because you're a good golfer and you can obviously swing the club very well, you might find on occasions you overdo it and you go a bit too far behind you. Obviously we're trying to swing the golf club on that kind of green line there. This one's a bit underneath that green line, that's a bit above that yellow line. So if your swing plane gets a bit too steep, you'll generally come down a bit more out to in, therefore across the ball, hold the face, and there's your fade. If you come down slightly underneath that plane, as you can see here now with your hands on this side of the green line, as you can see, as you come in here now, you're coming more in from the inside path. So when the club then swings through, it's going to be less steep on the way through. All right? So we're looking really, the only change you're really focusing on then, Davis, from here is good. That transition from there not going up. And I think what you said at the start, you're a bit stiff and a bit sort of lacking flexibility. It's almost like a bit of a, not lazy, that's the wrong word, but just like, well, I can't quite turn, that'll do. Rather than I'm here now and just keep the club going behind you. I'd rather see a slightly shorter, better backswing than a longer, steeper backswing that's going to cause more issues on the way down. Because you're not going to lose distance by being slightly shorter. Does John Rahm hit the ball of nowhere? He's quite a long hitter, isn't he? Gary Woodland, he's not the longest backswing, and he won the US Open at 300 plus yards. So it's not length in backswing that directly affects distance. It can do. Obviously, if I swing the golf club to here, so knee height or shoulder height is going to be a difference. But if we're kind of here to there, that amount of movement is not that much different, you see. It's the same when you look at like a young kid trying to kick a football. Having a 4-yard run-up or a 50-yard run-up doesn't increase how hard they hit the goal, kick the ball, do they? So getting a better run-up or a better backswing is what we're looking for to try to create that position where your club can come down. As we said, it doesn't swing, the club doesn't swing into impact, into out, it curves. So the yellow line is what you would probably visualise, and you sort of use the word 7 o'clock, 3 o'clock here, or 7 o'clock, 1 o'clock, that into out. What we're trying to do is kind of swing more, I guess, 6:30 to 12:30 on a sort of gradual kind of curvature in and around your body, yeah? So the club does actually exit, as that explainer I showed, to the left, yeah? So it's working on that backswing of the club a little bit flatter, and that's with all clubs. Definitely more so as much with the driver, I would say. If you're slicing the driver, that club's got to start working more around your body. If it gets too steep, you're just going to come in with a steeper angle, yeah? That kind of makes sense in terms of where you were going wrong?
Yeah.
Yes. So you're right with the Hogan book was perfect. The thing is, you just weren't looking at the right part of it. You were looking at grip, right arm, and path. When what you should have been looking at was the pane of glass, the swing plane. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember.
So it's the information's in there. This is why I think sometimes when people read books or YouTube or whatever it may be, they will read things that are correct, but is it a direct effect or direct relevance to you as a golfer? Okay, all those things in there are correct. All the videos on YouTube, for the most part, are pretty good, and magazines and golf, Today's Golfer, Golf Country, whatever, they're all right, but they're relevant to you. I mean, you wouldn't go and, my car got a Volkswagen Golf. I wouldn't go to a Ferrari garage to try and get my car fixed with a new engine. It just wouldn't fit. So you got to fit the swing to the fault, or fit the fault to the swing, or the cure to the fault.
See, the swing play.
Yeah.
But I didn't know whether I was.
Yeah.
Keeping on that plane,
yeah.
But obviously I'm not.
Yeah, the thing is you can't see your own swing, can you? That's the thing. So that's why I think for me it's about looking at that book there and knowing what that book's all about and understanding the concept. The swing plane was the issue which was causing the path to be. Generally speaking, it's not exactly always the case, but more often than not, if you're steep, you're out to win. If you're too flat, you could be too much into out. Get on the right plane, the club can swing into square to win on a nice arcing. Okay. Right there.